Okay, real talk. You check your bank account at the end of the month, and you're sitting there like, where did it go? Like, you didn't buy anything crazy. No big vacation. No new TV. You didn't even go out that much. And yet somehow, you're still hundreds of dollars shorter than you expected to be. And the worst part? You can't even explain it. You just kind of spent it on nothing, on everything, on these tiny little things that felt completely harmless in the moment. That's the thing about small expenses. They don't feel like a problem. That's exactly why they're the problem. My name is John, and I spend way too much time thinking about where people's money actually disappears to. If you're someone who feels like you're doing everything right financially but still can't seem to get ahead at the end of the month, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, we are going deep on the 10 smallest, most overlooked, it's just a few bucks expenses that are quietly draining over $1,000 out of your bank account every single year. And I'm not talking about your Netflix subscription or your gym membership. You've heard that. I'm talking about the stuff that flies completely under the radar. The stuff that never even shows up when you try to figure out where your money went. Let's get into it. Section 1. The psychology setup, why small feels safe. Before we get to the list, I need to explain something. Because if you don't understand why these small expenses are so dangerous, you're just going to hear the list, nod your head, maybe cut one or two things, and then be right back here next year wondering the same thing. Here's the thing. Our brains are genuinely bad at tracking small, repeated costs. Like, embarrassingly bad. There's actually a name for this in behavioral economics. It's called the latte factor, popularized by financial author David Bach. But the concept goes way deeper than coffee. The idea is that we have what psychologists call an inattentional blindness toward recurring microspending. We notice a $500 purchase. We feel it. We think about it. But a $4.99 charge? Our brain basically files it under rounding error and moves on. And here's what most people don't realize. That psychological blind spot is not a personal failing. It's actually how our brains evolved to work. We're wired to pay attention to big threats, big rewards, big changes. Small and consistent? Our brain treats that as the background noise of life, which is exactly what subscription companies, app developers, and convenience brands are counting on. So when I say these expenses are quietly draining your account, I mean that literally. They are designed to be quiet. They are engineered to stay below your awareness threshold. And that's what makes them so effective at emptying your wallet. Now, here's the math before we dive in, because I want this to land. If you have 10 small expenses averaging just $8.50 per month each, that's $85 a month total. Most people wouldn't even blink at that. But $85 a month is $1,020 a year. And if you invested that $1,020 every year for 30 years at a modest 8% return, that's over $125,000 from expenses you didn't even know you had. Let that sit for a second. All right, let's go through the list. Expense number 1, the convenience markup on groceries. Look, I'm not going to tell you to meal prep 7 days a week and eat sad chicken and rice. That's not the move. But here's something most people never think about. The convenience markup built into the way you already shop. I'm talking about pre-cut vegetables, pre-marinated meats, individually portioned snack packs, bag salad kits. These things cost anywhere from 40% to 300% more than buying the base ingredient and doing 30 seconds of prep yourself. According to research from the USDA Economic Research Service, the average American household throws away roughly 30% of the food they buy. A lot of that is the pre-prepped. I'll definitely eat the stuff that sits in the fridge until it doesn't. So you're paying the convenience premium and losing money to waste. The average household? Probably spending an extra $15 to $25 per month on convenience markups alone, without realizing it. That's up to $300 a year. On produce, you could have cut yourself in 4 minutes. Running total, $300/year. Expense number 2, bank fees you think you don't have. Now, you might be thinking, John, I don't pay bank fees. I have a free checking account. And I would say, are you sure? Have you actually looked? Here's what gets people. It's not the monthly maintenance fee, Most people know to avoid that. It's the sneaky stuff. Out-of-network ATM fees average $4.73 per transaction, according to Bankrate's annual checking account survey. If you hit an out-of-network ATM just twice a month, that's $113 a year. Gone for the privilege of accessing your own money. Then there's overdraft fees, which still average around $26 per incident at major banks, even after recent regulatory pressure. One slip-up a month, which, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, happens, and that's over $300 a year in penalties. And foreign transaction fees, if you travel even a little. Most standard credit cards charge 1 to 3% on every international purchase. One modest trip abroad, and you could be looking at $30 to $80 in fees you didn't see coming. The fix here is genuinely simple. Switch to a high-yield online checking account. Banks like Ally, Markups, or credit unions in your area typically offer zero ATM fees, zero maintenance fees, and overdraft protection. This is one of the easiest $100 plus wins you can get, and it takes one afternoon to set up. Running total, $500/year. Expense number 3, the subscription you forgot you're paying for. Okay, this one is almost a cliche at this point, but stay with me, because I guarantee most of you have at least one of these you haven't thought about in months. A 2022 study by C+, our research found that the average American underestimates their monthly subscription spending by $133 per month. $133. They think they're spending about $86 a month on subscriptions. They're actually spending closer to $219. The specific culprit I want to highlight isn't Netflix or Spotify, those you know about. I'm talking about the app subscription you downloaded during a free trial and never canceled. The cloud storage upgrade you got when your phone was full. The premium version of some app you used twice. The news site you subscribed to for one article. These tend to run $2.99 to $9.99 a month. Invisible in isolation. Devastating in aggregate. Action step. Right now, go to your phone settings. On iPhone, settings your name subscriptions. On Android, Google Play subscriptions. Then check your email for any billing receipts you've been ignoring. I promise you'll find something. Running total, $620/year. Expense number 4, and use gift cards and store credit. This one surprises people every time. The gift card industry sees roughly $3 billion in unredeemed balances every single year in the U.S., according to research from CB Now Gartner. That's money people essentially handed back to retailers for free. Now, $3 billion sounds abstract, but at the household level, the average American has about $175 in unused gift cards sitting around at any given time. Some of those expire. Some get lost. Some just never get used because you forget you have them. This is slightly different from a monthly drain. It's more of a slow leak that happens a few times a year. But if you're receiving gift cards for birthdays, holidays, or work incentives, and letting even $80 to $100 worth go unused annually, that's real money. Fix, consolidate, and schedule. Check your wallet, your junk drawer, your email for digital gift cards. Use them deliberately on things you'd already buy. Or sell them on platforms like Card Cash or Raise for 70 to 92 cents on the dollar. Less than face value, yes, but better than zero. Running total, $700/year. Expense number 5, the just-in-case insurance overlaps. Here's where it gets really interesting, because this one sounds like it couldn't possibly apply to you, but it probably does. A lot of people are paying for insurance coverage they already have somewhere else. The most common version? Rental car insurance. If you have a major credit card, Visa Signature, MasterCard World, most Chase or Amex cards, there's a very good chance you already have rental car collision coverage built in. But the rental car company is still going to offer you their daily damage waiver for $15 to $30 a day. And most people take it because they don't want the risk. That's an extra $25 per rental on average. If you rent a car even 4 times a year, vacations, work trips, whenever your car is in the shop, that's $100 you didn't need to spend. Then there's extended warranties on electronics and appliances. Retailers make enormous profit margins on these, typically 40 to 80% according to Consumer Reports, because the actual failure rates during the extended warranty period are very low. Many credit cards, again, offer extended warranty protection automatically. Travel insurance is another big one. Many premium credit cards include trip cancellation and travel delay coverage. If you're buying separate travel insurance on top of that, you're double covered and double paying. Running total, $800/year. Expense number 6, coffee and drinks, but not the way you think. Okay, I know. I said I wasn't going to be the stop buying lattes guy, and I'm not. But here's the distinction I want to make. It's not the coffee you buy intentionally. It's the drinks you buy accidentally. The bottle of water at the airport because you forgot your reusable bottle. The energy drink at the gas station because you're tired and it's right there. The $7 smoothie at the gym because you didn't bring a snack. These are impulse purchases driven by environment, not preference. You didn't wake up that morning wanting a $7 smoothie. You were just in the right or wrong place at the right time, and your willpower did what willpower always does under low-energy, high-convenience conditions. It folded. Research from Cornell University found that people make roughly 200 food-related decisions per day, and the vast majority of those are unconscious, environment-driven choices. The fix isn't willpower, it's architecture. You bring a water bottle. You keep a snack in your bag. You eat before you go to the airport. Average cost of these accidental drink and snack purchases for most people? Somewhere around $12 to $18 per month. Over a year, that's $150 to $200 from purchases you never consciously decided to make. Running total, $930/year. Expense number 7, late fees on things that could be automated. This one hurts a little because it's entirely preventable. And yet, late fees on bills, rent, credit cards, library books, parking tickets. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau estimates that the average American pays somewhere between $100 and $150 per year in late fees. And look, life gets busy. Things slip through. I'm not here to make you feel bad about it, but I am here to tell you that every single one of those fees is optional. Autopay exists. Payment reminders exist. Most banks have built-in bill pay systems that are free. Setting these up takes 1 hour, maybe 2 if you have a lot of accounts. And then you never think about it again. That's the definition of a one-time investment with a permanent return. The one caveat: don't put everything on autopay and then stop looking at your bills. That's how you miss billing errors, price hikes, or fraudulent charges. Set autopay, but still do a monthly 15-minute bill review. 2 different habits. Both important. Running total, $1050/year. Expense number 8, paying for things your employer or memberships already cover. This one is the one people kick themselves over the hardest, because the coverage was right there. You just didn't know to look. Common examples: gym discounts through your health insurance. A lot of major insurers, United Healthcare, Aetna, Blue Cross, offer gym reimbursements or free memberships through programs like Silver Sneakers or the Gym Network partnerships. If you're paying $40 to $60 a month for a gym membership, and your insurance would cover part or all of it, that's $200 to $400 a year you didn't have to spend. Software you're paying for personally that your employer licenses for free: Adobe, Microsoft Office, project management tools, VPN services. Ask your IT department before you pay for it yourself. Professional organization memberships that overlap. Some people pay for 2 or 3 organizations in the same field without realizing the benefits are nearly identical. This requires a bit of homework, but the homework pays off. Spend 30 minutes going through your benefits package, the actual documents, not just a summary. Most people are shocked by what they're already entitled to. Running total, $200/year. Expense number 9, the minimum viable purchase that becomes a habit. Here's the thing. This one is more psychological than it is financial, which is exactly why it's so powerful. The minimum viable purchase is the small buy that gets you in the door somewhere. The $1.99 app. The $4.99 introductory offer. The $10 starter product. These prices are set specifically to eliminate purchase resistance. And they work. Because once you bought into something, the psychology of commitment and consistency kicks in. Once you bought the app, you're more likely to buy the upgrade. Once you've tried the service, you're more likely to subscribe. Once you're in the store for the $2 item, you're more likely to leave with $25 worth of stuff. Retailers call this the foot in the door technique. Psychologists call it commitment consistency bias. I call it the reason your Amazon cart never stays at one item. The cumulative cost of these minimum viable purchases and their follow-on spending? Probably $15 to $25 per month for the average household. Not catastrophic. Not invisible either. Running total, $1 for 100/year. Expense number 10. Paying full price for things that are almost always on sale. Okay, last one. And this might be the one that changes how you shop most fundamentally. There's a category of products that essentially never sell at full retail price. They rotate through sales so frequently that full price is almost theoretical. Electronics, mattresses, furniture, certain clothing brands, gym equipment. And yet people buy these things at full price constantly because the sale isn't happening right now and they don't want to wait. The average person overpays on these categories by $15 to $30 per month throughout the year when you factor in multiple purchases. That's $180 to $360 annually, just from not waiting 2 weeks or signing up for a price drop alert. Tools like Honey, Capital One Shopping, or Camel for Amazon will do the waiting for you. You set a price alert, you forget about it. You get an email when the price drops. The item doesn't care when you buy it, but your bank account does. Running total, $1, 500-$1, 600/year. The big picture, bringing it all together. Okay, so let's look at this. We just went through 10 expense categories that most people don't think about, never track, and would never identify as the reason they feel financially stuck. And the conservative total across all 10? Somewhere between $1,000 and $1,600 per year. For a lot of households, it's more. Now, here's what most people don't realize, and this is the part one actually want you to walk away with. The goal here is not to turn you into someone who obsesses over every dollar and lives in a state of constant financial anxiety. That's miserable, and it doesn't work long term. The goal is awareness. Because you cannot make good decisions about money you don't know you're spending. The people who build real wealth over time aren't necessarily the ones who earn the most. They're the ones with the fewest financial blind spots. They know where their money goes. They've eliminated the spending that doesn't bring them value. And they've redirected that money, even small amounts, toward things that actually matter to them, whether that's investments, experiences, security, or freedom. This is where it gets really interesting. Because if you took that $1,200 to $1,600 per year and put it into a simple S&P 500 index fund, over 30 years at historical average returns, you're looking at $150,000 to $200,000 from expenses you didn't even know you were making. That is genuinely life-changing money hiding in plain sight. Action plan, what to do this week. All right. Let me give you something concrete, because I'm not interested in you watching this video and feeling temporarily motivated and then doing nothing. So here's a simple 3-step action plan. Step 1, the audit. This week, pull up your last 3 months of bank and credit card statements. Go line by line. Literally highlight anything you don't immediately recognize or remember choosing. You'll find things. I promise you'll find things. Step 2, the quick wins. Cancel the subscriptions you forgot about. Set up auto pay for your regular bills. Call your insurance company and ask about gym reimbursements. Check your credit card benefits. These are zero-effort wins that take one afternoon and pay off forever. Step 3, the architecture. Change your environment so you stop making accidental purchases. Bring a water bottle. Eat before you shop. Use price alert tools. The goal is to make the right financial choice the path of least resistance, not because you've suddenly become more disciplined, but because you've engineered your life so you don't need to be. Look, I know personal finance content can feel either overwhelming or oversimplified. Either it's you need to completely overhaul your entire life, or it's just skip the coffee. Neither of those is useful. What I want you to take from this video is something in the middle, small, targeted, specific changes to specific habits that have specific, measurable financial outcomes. No deprivation. No spreadsheet obsession. Just knowing where your money goes, so you get to decide where it goes next. You worked hard for that money. Every dollar you earned, you traded time for. And time is the one thing you genuinely cannot get back. The least these expenses can do is earn the right to be in your life. Meaning you actually chose them, you actually value them, and you actually know about them. If you found this helpful, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who are trying to get their finances together. Subscribe if you're not already, because I post new videos every week on the psychology and math of building real financial stability. And if you want to go deeper on where money disappears, I've got a video on how to build a system that tracks your spending automatically without you having to do anything manually. That's a good next step. Check it out. I'll see you in the next one.